I've been on the streets for 4 years now, on and off. You know, I'd catch a shelter bed. During the winter, I would take a mat at St. John Divine. But mostly I would sleep at Beacon Hill Park. I would find a place down there. And I had a tent for a while, which was kind of nice. And it's the hours are fine. Do you know what circadian rhythm is? Well, that's what happens when you're living outside. You find that circadian rhythm. And so you're allowed there from 8 o'clock to 7. That's enough time, really. But I guess you get the young kids and they party till 2, and then they wonder why the police are there, you know, kind of chasing them away. So I've on and off, yeah, it's been 4 years now.
Well, we're now standing in Kings Park, which is a small park about 4 kilometers north of the city of Victoria downtown core. And some homeless people have been living here for quite some time, sleeping outside. I met some of them and they directed me to their spokesman, a man named Steve.
It's difficult. It's doable, but it's difficult, yeah. Like I said, it's not camping, it's survival. And until, like I said, it seems that once you're in that position, no job, no house, it's extremely difficult to get out because you need one or the other to get, you need a house to get a job, you need a job to get a house. If not, you're sort of just in limbo, just grabbing at anything you can, right? I mean, I would figure I'd be housed and have a job by now. Like I said, in general, Victoria PD is pretty tolerant, and like they don't want to be they don't want to be social workers. They want to be police officers, right? And so in general, their frustration isn't unseen by all of us anyway. But in general, they're decent.
Okay, well, after having spoken with Steve at some length, I left him with videographer Mark Ewan and went to the other end of the park to speak to some other people. And while I was speaking with them, a man came by on foot on the street, pointing what looked like a pistol, waving it at us, and then pointing it to his head. And then continuing walking down the street with what looked, again, like a black pistol pointed to his head. The neighbors got upset, obviously. 9/11, police were called, and there was a large police response 10 minutes ago, and the police apprehended this individual, and it turns out he was carrying a replica pistol. But it really put a scare into people, and the folks camping in the park here say it's not the first time they've seen an incident like that in this neighborhood. We're back for another night downtown Victoria, sleeping outside in public parks. We're now outside the law courts in downtown Victoria. We're joined by about 4 or 5 other campers, or survivalists as they call themselves, homeless people, and we'll be here all night and moving off tomorrow morning when the police come at 7 o'clock. We're now standing outside the park, outside the Victoria Law Courts, and it's now morning after our second night sleeping outside in public parks in Victoria. And the police have not shown up as we expected they would, possibly because we're here. The local homeless folks figure that because the reporters are present in the park, there is no police presence. Normally the police will come and have people pull down their tents at 7 in the morning, but they haven't shown up yet.
The message I have in that regard is for the federal government: help fund housing like you're supposed to. Help every municipality across the country. It's not a city's responsibility. The province is doing a good job, but it is a federal responsibility to make sure that Canadians have housing. If we want a prosperous country, if we want a healthy country, if we want a well-educated country, that's the message. It's a federal election year, and I'm going to be asking every candidate of every party, what are you going to do for a national housing strategy? Because we are the only G8 country that doesn't have one, and it is an embarrassment.